I'm leaving my husband M30 due to the relationship he has with my f48.
I'm 27F, my husband is 30 meters, and his mother is 48. I've always thought she was strange and brushed it off, but after what happened my thoughts have been confirmed. Me and my husband first met in high school, and from there we were practically inseparable and always laughed and hung out with each other. Eventually, when we went to college, he asked me out and wanted me to be his girlfriend, and I gladly accepted. We've been dating for 9 years and married for 2 years now. 1 year into dating him, he invited me to eat with his mother at a beautiful restaurant. I made sure to dress my best so I could make a good impression on his mother. Once we got there, I noticed she was staring at me intently and with slight disgust in her face. While eating, I noticed my MIL texting my husband, then boyfriend, something and saying snarky comments towards me.
I should have noticed. That was the first red flag. I felt hurt and insulted when she continued to do this and my husband pretended that it wasn't happening. I was very angry after once we got into the car and shouted at him about how could he let this happen. He then proceeded to brush me off by saying his mother is just a moody person and you just need to get her to be more comfortable around you. I decided to let it go and see if I'd have more luck next time. Over the years we've met a few times and I suppose it was getting better, but she still kept up with the snarky comments, commenting on how ugly my hair, how unfeminine I looked, how I was supposed to stay in my place as a woman. Each time he brushed it off or guilt-tripped me, and it made more angry each time this happened.
I started noticing he got more distant, more cold, and helped less with chores around the house. Every time I'd ask him to help me or at least do something small, he'd promise me he'll do it later but never does it, which leaves me alone in the house to finish cleaning his mess, washing his clothes and cleaning the bathroom. He told me he would go hang out with his mother or go out with her instead of helping me or giving me love. I felt like he was cheating on me, but QAs of the sudden changed. So when he got home from work we got into a big argument about the distance in my relationship. He argued that what he did is none of business and it shouldn't concern me. I told him that yes, it is my business that he's been staying out the house for too long, leaving me to do all the work, and that we were not the lovely couple we used to be. He then cursed at me and walked away. I was so heartbroken at that moment and just stomped off to my room as he went outside and drove off.
I've had enough and decided to check his phone when he was asleep and look through his text. I noticed his most recent text was from MIL and decided to snoop through it. My eyes widened as I read the text. Apparently she's been the one encouraging my husband to leave me to do all the work because quote unquote that's what women are good for. They are only useful when it comes to housework. They were making fun of me and calling me all sorts of name. It appears he's also been telling MIL sensitive information about me and laughing about me when I was my lowest points. To say I was livid was an understatement. I wasn't going to let this slide either, so I took screenshots of the text and sent them to myself, as well erasing all evidence that I touched his phone. I decided to ask my husband to visit him the next time he goes to hang out with MIL so I could serve him divorce papers and call her out on her outrageous behavior. I asked my husband if I could come with him to see his mother with a nice hard-working wife attitude, and he agreed to let me go. I was putting up a nice wife act, but on the inside I was very angry, hurt and confused about what did I do wrong? Why did this happen? Was I not a good enough wife to him? Eventually we arrived and greeted MIL with a wave and a hug. She looked slightly disappointed at the sight of me but let me in anyways. We all chatted and she started commenting on my looks again, and I got snapped this time and told her to shut up, and continued to say, I'm tired of you commenting on my looks and being blatantly disrespectful towards me. I proceeded to slap her out of anger and she began to cry and shout profanities at me. My husband joined in and proceeded to yell at me, but I cut them both and yelled at them about how could they talk this rudely about me behind their backs. I looked at MIL and told her that her son is a good-for-nothing, lazy, disgusting mama's boy. He is filthy and it is all your fault. I continued with telling her that she is free to have him. All to herself Bekwase, I am going to divorce her stupid son. She cried harder and my husband looked at me with shock and humiliation in his face and screamed about how could I violate his privacy like that and that I hurt his mother's feelings. It made me even angrier that he wasn't worried about how I felt and more about his mother and privacy. I proceeded to slap him too and told him, "Go F yourself. I'm done with you. You can go pack your stuff and clean up the mess you made at home because I'm not doing it this time. And never again." He looked at me with rage and then sadness. He and his mother then started crying. My husband begged me not to leave him that and he cannot live without a beautiful, clean woman like me. He attempted to guilt trip me with, "What am I going to do without someone to provide for me when I work really hard?" I cut him off and told him I don't want to hear it. I will be packing my stuff and selling the house since I paid for it and it is under my name. He has a 1-month notice to pack all his stuff. After this I will be going to live with my family as they've been there for me and understood my situation. Good on you for ending a relationship with your husband who is in an emotionally incestuous relationship with his mother. He was unwilling to put up boundaries and instead decided to keep her as his primary emotional partner. So gross. I would encourage if you can getting some therapy after this if possible, as this is such an awful thing to happen and you don't want it coloring future relationships. And be sure to go zero contact with these two, as these types have decades of manipulation under their belts and will try to take any advantage they can. They can have each other forever since it sounds like they want to be in their relationship together. So gross.
I'm so proud of you. And bonus, you got out before kids were in the situation. Clean break from them. Woof.
The ending sounds like a cheesy soap opera. Nice creative writing piece.
Finally, someone stops putting up with the abuse and neglect.
I'm so very proud of you for standing up for yourself. Note that you are free of these toxic people. May all the best things come your way.
Well done, Queen.
Good for you.
You've handled this with absolute class all the way. And you ended it with class. Leave these filthy, lazy pigs behind in their own muck and archaic BS. Heal yourself and move on to something much better. Because I don't doubt that you are capable of succeeding in anything. Stick to it. Block his number and any damage he does to the house, document it and sue. Serve him, and if he isn't out the house I'm 30 days, call the police and have him removed. I'm so sorry you've had to go through all this heartbreak and misery, but good for you. They both deserve it. I hope you can get past this. Maybe with the help of a good therapist. And have such a great life without either one of them in it. He never stood up for you, and that was the least of what you're deserved in your marriage. Good job standing up for yourself. What in the telenovela did I just read? Tears of joy, Netflix about to snatch this one real quick. Kudos for you. He's a moron. Good on you. You did the absolute right thing. Your life will be better without these crazy people in it, and you'll find somebody who will appreciate you. This wall of text gave me brain damage. Good for you. Sounds like a horrible situation. 2 hearts. God bless you on your new journey. 2 hearts. Minus the slap. Everything else you did was warranted and necessary. Time to move on. You got a preview of what the rest of your life would look like if you let this go. Badass. Sorry you went through all that, but that was awesome. Sad it's so rare to see people stand up for themselves. Stop slapping people before you end up with an assault charge up. It's not a good look. Your feelings are valid, but they do not give you the right to physically attack another person. I feel like I just watched an Indian serial. Lol. The drama, the intrigue, the out-of-control ending. Proud of you, girl, for standing strong. What you did took courage, confidence, and belief in yourself. I laughed when he accused you of violating his privacy. I think it would be good for you to read the book, Women Who Run with the Wolves, originally published in 2000 by Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes. The target audience is women, and the book was on the New York Times bestsellers list for nearly 2 years.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.